Wookiees, and she was like, you can't do. There's not enough tall actors in the world to do Wookiees, and so like she was like, why don't you cut them in half and make them like teddy bears?
Perfect. Look, Ewoks are fantastic.
But that's like think about this. They would have been ducks. Like that's where.
I always heard that the Ewoks were made to fucking sell toys.
Yo, shout out to Jay Gazes. He's runs our other podcast. My brain is hanging upside down, so go check that out.
Yeah.
And also, he's on Twitch, Jay Gazes. But go on.
What I was gonna say is, and this is totally tangential, but what blows my mind is you guys are anime guys, right? You watch anime?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Somewhat.
Kirby
well, you know, Cowboy Bebop originally, like the reason Cowboy Bebop was made was because they were coming out with a line of toys.
Yeah.
And they wanted to promote the toys, and it just ended up being like historically one of the best animes to ever be made.
Well, that's how Transformers
still to this day, like Transformers fucking sucks. Don't ever compare Transformers to fucking Cowboy Bebop to me again.
You can't discredit the old school Transformers from the 1980s.
Okay, the cartoon movie with Leonard Nimoy doing the voice of Optimus Prime was fucking awesome.
Never seen it.
I think every film could be infinitely better if they insert Optimus Prime and Bumblebee into it at some point. Gone with the Wind, a lot less boring now.
God, those are two terrible characters now. They used to be good characters.
All right, let's get this podcast started, guys. Right. Welcome to Crook and Burner. My name is Kenny Crook Irish Kirby. And you may know me as that dude that will probably be playing Dead Space later on tonight. And I'm joined today by my co-host, Maxwell Murder.
I'm Maxwell Murder. You might know me as that guy who was in the Asian supermarket looking at all the pears just like 5 minutes ago.
The pears of what? Anyway, and we are joined today by our special guest, Alex.
And I am special guest Alex, joined by my own special guest, Dog 1, Dog 2.
Puppies.
Always coming from the bed.
So, today's topic is going to be Old House Woods. This is a place that was surprisingly close to us. And I always wanted to ghost hunt, and probably would have if I was still in Virginia. Probably only one of the reasons I would actually go back to Virginia.
I think if I can get Mr. Gazes and his wife to join Ansley and I, we might ghost hunt it.
You know, that's perfect, guys, because later on in the episode, I'm going to explain why it's the perfect place to die.
Well, I can't wait. I just can't wait.
I thought the perfect place to die was those suicide woods in Japan.
No, that's a terrible place to die because then you're stuck with all those idiots who killed themselves there.
Yeah, and they're like, what the fuck are we going to do? You know, at least Old House Woods has a point, and we'll get to it, where I'm just going to be like, this is exactly how I want to die.
Well, I think Suicide Woods has a point. I mean, it's to commit suicide.
Yeah, but if you're committing suicide, you're probably so depressed that... This is
that's not true. We're in a modern age, buddy. There are plenty of people with terminal illnesses that don't get the proper treatment because there is none, and they decide to go out on their own terms.
What? It's Suicide Woods, Japan?
Well, okay, yeah, maybe not in Suicide Woods, Japan, but
Japan has a recognized illness where you can therefore die of doing too much work. So.
Wait.
And suicide.
Yeah, I guess I'll never complain about the work ethic here in the U.S. Again.
Yeah, so like,
unless you work for Elon Musk.
Well, that's not going to last long. So, they also have a recognized illness of like someone who stays in their apartment and only works and only watches anime and only fucks his waifu pillow.
Are we describing me here? What
I can't remember what the sickness is called, but it's an actual it's a mental illness. Yeah,
Guys,
but then there is there's a
illness.
physical there's a physical illness that they recognize of like dying from working too hard.
Yeah,
it's not that one.
exhaustion.
I think it's a I don't know. I think you just kind of atrophy and waste away and then die from stress.
All right. Well, on that note, nice segue to the introduction of Old House Woods.
All right, we're gonna get to Old House Woods, but I don't just on the Japan thing. I don't know if you guys saw this that the Prime Minister says they're in dire straits because of the birth rates are so low.
You know, we're gonna do an episode on Suicide Woods, guys. I actually forgot that existed. I'm putting it on the list.
Really, you want to do that?
I
just want to say you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think it's only a good place to shoot a really inappropriate YouTube video, but you know, I'll go into this Woods thing. All right. So as Kirby was saying, Old House Woods, it's in Virginia. It's on the coast, Northern Virginia. Kirby.
Yeah, it's actually near Chesapeake Bay. I chose this episode specifically because it happens right around the area of Roanoke.
Nice. Also, just real quick clarification on my point. From what I've read and everything, so this forest abuts the sea, like the bay.
It does. It opens onto a beach essentially, but it's really not that large. It's like 2 or 3 football fields, I think.
Yeah.
It the whole woods?
Well, yeah. I have the.
It used to be probably bigger, but you know,
it's 50 acres.
Yeah, that's not big at all. My dad's from college / high school owns 900 acres in Northern California. So.
Oh, that son of a bitch.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, he's the guy who started Sierra Nevada Brewery.
Just made Old House Woods feel bad.
I know I did. It's not haunted though. I don't, But okay, so Old House Woods. It abuts Chesapeake Bay. It's got a few hauntings. We'll probably go into this. Nature banshees, pirate ghosts, my favorite, lost treasure, skeletons, and more. And today we're gonna break down the many spirits of this shits.
You know, a few hauntings is kind of a misnomer, dude. Old House Woods is fucking haunted. Like, this is the Skinwalker of the East Coast.
Yeah, well, is it within the God damn it, the Bridgewater Triangle?
Actually, I don't know, but we're gonna do both Bermuda and that in an episode at some point.
Got a dog.
There's a dog.
Dog.
Cause like so, I've only skimmed the outline, but I think there was a battle held, like a naval battle during the Revolutionary War, like right there.
What? Yeah, and I know this whole fucking look. We're gonna get into the history of it, but let's just say there's been a lot of blood spilt in these.
Yeah, well, this is what we found out when we did the Snarly Yell, is that like all of Virginia and Maryland and the surrounding states are just soaked in the blood of the Revolutionary and the Civil War.
Yeah.
So cool. All right. So it's in Matthews County, Virginia. Never been. Located near the cozy town of Diggs.
I dig the name of that.
I dig it. It's surrounded by the Chesapeake Bay. Old House Woods is a densely packed 50-acre forest and boggy marshland filled with pine trees, history, and ghosts. It's literally so dense that the trees blot out the sky. It's considered to be one of the most haunted areas in America, nicknamed Black Forest and the Haunted Woods.
Yeah, these fucking woods make Salem look like a bitch. Like, you're walking down the woods. Imagine, like, no leaves there. They're all fucking, like, so densely packed that you can't see the sky. And they all look like skeletal hands.
Ooh, I love it.
If you're gonna fucking... Yeah, if you're gonna haunt a place, haunt this fucking place.
Well, so the reason Salem is so, like, weirdly sparse in its trees is actually because it was one of the first areas colonized by the assholes we talked about last episode, and And one of the reasons the Europeans really wanted to colonize the new country after it was, kind of explored a little bit, is because they had forested, they had over chopped their trees, and when they got here, they were like, oh shit,
They did the same thing.
Yeah, they did exactly the same thing. They're like
fast forward 500 years.
What's his face from Roanoke was like, he got a big old hard on for all the wood here.
No pun intended.
No,
But bump.
It's a double entendre. So maybe I want to go to this place because it is hard to find a place that has wood so densely packed. Like the redwoods in California, kind of like that. But I definitely would love to see this. Let's see. We're going to some history here. The name for the old house woods actually dates back to the 1700s. There was an old colonial building that stood in the middle of the woods. It was abandoned, decrepit, and believed to be full of angry-ass spirits. Named for the Franny Night House, it spontaneously caught fire one day. Ooh, no, there was no cause, no culprit for the fire. However, it put itself out without intervention.
Yeah, this thing was like, whoosh! I'm just kidding. And then he shut down the fucking flames. And everyone's like, well, I guess the angry ass ghost spirit house is still fucking there.
Okay. I like it. That's a little like spontaneous combustion, where it's just like you're so fat you catch fire and your fat just burns and nothing else burns around you.
I think Max just invented a new diet, new weight loss system.
That's, we're talking about ways to die. That's how I want to go.
The Jenny Craig
on
diet?
Fire?
Yeah, I know. I want to pass out with a cigarette in my hand and be so fat that when people come and see my decrepit burnt corpse, that again the fat will burn and then burn itself out, and that'll just be people will be like, he spontaneously combusted.
I'm gonna ask.
I want to be that fat.
I'm gonna be like, can I be the one to identify it? And I'm gonna walk up to your dead body and just be like, well, he's a pig roast now. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'll be like, that's him. That's exactly how he wanted it to go, like a spit pig.
Yeah, wish I could have been there to see it. Let's see. So this place caught fire years later. Once again, this time it burned the house to the ground. And the forest has since reclaimed it. Wow.
Yeah, they can't find the foundation.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so it may or may not exist. I like to believe it exists because it's a house full of angry ghosts, and that sounds fucking sick as shit. Like, I would live there. I'd be like, oh, sweet, can you make the walls bleed a little bit more? I don't think we got the quota for the week.
I don't know if I would want to live in a menstruating house.
No, it would go into drains. I'd build drains.
That is the nicest thing a ghost could do. Speaking of menstruation, it has a pretty bloody past.
Great segue.
Yeah.
There's no way we're ever gonna get audiences, man. The way some of the jokes that we have, we're way past it, man. We're so past PC and the woke culture and the fucking millennial liberals. I
don't know. Look, last podcast on the left has an audience, and Henry, until about episode 300, had a pretty offensive Asian character that he did a lot.
This is true. You can actually get away with a lot in podcasting, so long as you say it in a nice way.
Yeah. Well, and when he did Litter and Lake, he had to say, he sounded like this. This isn't racist. He sounded like this.
Oh, and he did. Go check out the Charles Ng episode.
Yeah, Charles Ng and Renner Lake.
Menstruation and bloody past. Let's go.
Yeah, at least I didn't say Menarche. Pirates, thieves, and murderers used these woods to hide from the law or bury their treasure. The woods were filled with stories of bloodlust and treachery before the first ghostly incident even took place. This was so prevalent in the early days of America that the place garnered a reputation for being notorious, and travelers were warned to stay away. Also, Revolutionary and Civil War soldiers used the woods as a secret port during their wars.
Whatever that means.
Secret port.
No, I mean, look at this fucking place. It's filled with death. This is like our suicide fucking
It kind of is.
woods, because
Yeah.
you got thieves and murderers that don't mind just fucking killing whatever or whatever, and that's before the fucking place was haunted.
Excuse me, I take offense that you're calling all thieves murderers. Thank you.
All right, thieves have the propensity for murder potentially.
Well, yeah, and I'd like to also draw a distinction between robbery and burglary. I am a burglar, not a robber.
One's a
guys.
goddamn profession, the other one's
Yeah.
a hobby.
Well,
Look, I will only steal from your house when you're on vacation. It's cool.
yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna do an armed robbery, but I'll break into your house and steal all your shit. I think I mean, I can't remember when we did Libertalia. It was so long ago, but like, wasn't this like sort of like the Chesapeake was sort of like one of those places where what was the pirate's name? The psychotic one.
Like
Rainbow cocksucker.
Did
Yes. He had a lot of like hideouts like around this area. So like, and he was a murderer.
yeah. I mean, pirates generally are, and well, no, actually they weren't. They tried
No,
not
they
to
weren't.
murder people.
Yeah.
Because
And you know what?
I just about this. I almost shut down my own fact. No, the pirates were not murderers. They were actually very nice folk, and a lot of them refused to kill people simply because it would lower the morale of their crew, and they needed a crew on point to be able to take like fucking royal ships. If you want to learn more about that, Crook and Murder, Lost Cities, Libertalia, we break down pirates.
Yeah. And you know what? I would just say that Edward Teach was he wasn't a psychopath. It was the syphilis that made him crazy. Before that, he was very smart.
That's his excuse. I have a disease, guys.
I feel like that's a lot of historical excuses. Like a lot of people thought Nietzsche went crazy because of
I think that's actually a fact.
I don't know if it's a fact.
Well, maybe it's not a fact. I did just read a little bit about Edgar Allan Poe, and he may have died of all kinds of syphilis and chlamydia because they just found him in the gutter in Baltimore.
I'm pretty sure Cthulhu killed Edgar Allan Poe.
It was either Cthulhu or the laudanum.
Yeah, I mean something had to.
Yeah,
that dude was awesome.
Man, I wish
I'm assuming it was H.P. Lovecraft taking out the competition.
He just summoned in Cthulhu
from the future. Okay, so we'll read about some of these hauntings. I can't remember the name of the movie, but I just watched a movie about a young Edgar Allan Poe helping out an older Christian
Raven
Bale.
Solo.
Thank you.
I haven't seen it, but
not as good as I thought it was gonna be.
No.
It had some plot holes.
There wasn't Batman in it. I was like, when's Batman gonna show up?
Batman in it.
Honestly, he could have just been. He was kind of just Batman. Like he was.
Where's Rachel?
He's a detective. Like I won't give away the ending, but I think it's based on a book, and I'm gonna bet the book is better. All right, we'll get into some of these fucking hauntings. All right, the ghosts of the Old House Woods. So there's some regular ass hauntings. Travelers and hikers go through the woods have reported a flurry of high strangeness. Horses become terrified for no reason whatsoever and refuse to go any further. Doom, dread, panic, and anger seem to settle into the visitors. Some feel as if the very breath of life has been drawn from their body, leaving them choking and unable to breathe. That is also a sign of demonic oppression. So
there's even more that kind of point toward it.
I like it. A strange green glow sometimes pervades the entire area. Strange orbs of light have been seen dancing through the trees. I've seen some footage of, not from this forest, but from a forest in Transylvania that of this shit, and it's fucking creepy. Like weird green orbs. The smell of sulfur is sometimes unbearably strong in the woods. Again, there's
Yeah,
another.
it's my fault. Sorry.
That's there's a part of there's an episode of Ghost Adventures where they have a gas spectrometer, and they're like fine, and it starts to go like bing bing bing, and somebody's like, Billy's like, I smell sulfur, and they're all like, oh, is it a ghost? And then Zach is like, I farted. And they're like, yeah, your farts are pretty bad.
I just hold in for the last like 400 years. I've just holding my gas, and then every 20 years I go down to the woods and I just let
Just
it
let
out.
it out.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I let one rip today in front of my coworkers. That was just a nice, strong one, and I was like, "Yeah, this is kind of nice."
You're crop dusting in Utah? Jesus,
Yeah,
man.
but I let everybody know, so at least I'm polite about it.
Okay, thanks. The area is typically 10 degrees cooler than the rest of the areas around it. Electronics malfunction, disembodied voice, whispers, and laughs have been heard and caught on tape, as well as footsteps without feet, shadows darting between the tree trunks, figures from the corners of the eyes. Though a lot of this can be chalked up to claustrophobia and paranoia, this is literally the tip of the iceberg. I actually, you know what? A lot of this, yeah, you could chalk it up to paranoia, but like, I don't know. I think there is something to be said about like people getting kind of a weird, eerie feeling when they're around like some sort of high strangeness or phenomena.
I want the listeners to understand, like right here, because they're like, "Wow, that's a whole bunch of haunting and shit." No, it's not. That's the beginning. We haven't
That's the
even
be-
got
yeah.
to like the real hauntings of the woods.
This is just the evidence. This isn't even like the hauntings.
Yeah, this is the shit that happens like between episodes. These are the fucking commercials. And it's like you're almost guaranteed this package. If you go to Old House Woods, you may get some of the better ones if you're lucky.
And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but one of the things, all of that, I'm good, right? Electronics malfunctioning, weird shit happening. But the area being typically 10 degrees colder,
yeah,
we literally just explained that the sun is blotted out from the fucking. So I mean, I like everything else. I'm like, yeah, all right, okay, maybe, yeah, ghost, blah blah.
It's a dense
whatever.
forest and marshland. Of course, it's 10 degrees colder.
Yeah, of course it's colder. Like it's right on the coast. You got that nice sea wind coming in. Like
there you guys go.
10
We
degrees
just
colder.
scienced Old House Woods,
So-
but that explains like what one of like 3,000 other things
Yeah.
going on there.
But
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything
Also,
else.
you could also be like, if you're like in the forest and you're like reading ambient temperature and it suddenly goes down 10 degrees, that's different.
That is different.
Yeah.
And I have seen weird shit like that. You remember like when
Yeah.
we went after the Snarly Owl? The actual ghost that hurt me because he's a dickhead. And yet I'm still ghost hunting. I just want to
Good.
point that out. I did get back out. Remember it was like 4 days later after breaking my ankle. I was
Yep.
like,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
going back up to that mountain.
You broke your ankle?
Well,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Twisted your ankle?
yeah.
Really, really bad. Like whatever the thing below broken is.
Whatever. Yeah. We'll go into this story someday, but like
Yeah.
I was on point and Josh and Kirby were behind me.
Yeah, Josh, Jay Gazes was there.
Yeah, when I turned around and saw the look on Josh's face, I thought Kirby had broken his neck.
So
Oh my
like,
god.
I've
yeah.
tangled with the fucking supernatural before.
But
You know?
so on the next trip, we went out in the spring, and I have it on tape. Jordan is alone in the woods. It's probably like ambient temperature is probably like 55, 60 degrees. It wasn't cold out. And all of a sudden he's like, I can see my breath.
Yeah. And I get back because we both go out to like fucking hunt this dog. And here's the thing. I can, and I mean alone. Like we walked into the woods alone.
Yeah.
So the difference
Nothing happened to
between
Kirby.
me and Jordan is like I could search my entire life for a fucking life form that can't be explained, and Jordan could walk into a fucking ghost bee's nest going to 7-Eleven.
I know. Oh my god.
I get back down there and I'm like, hey, so nothing happened up there, and Jordan's like, I had to leave early. It was like 2 minutes into the fucking thing. And so I'm just like, where's this thing at? And he points up the trail. I grab the recorder and I go walking up there. And it is literally colder between like me to the wall, you know?
So the reason I haven't finished editing that a year later is because there's some audio on your recorder, Kirby, from that exact point in time that is unexplainable, and I won't publish it until I can actually prove that it's unexplainable.
Okay.
But you're alone 50 meters away from us, and you can hear, I think, either Josh's voice or Jordan's voice clear as day on the recording as an EVP. It's bizarre. I can't. That's again why I haven't published it yet, because I can't explain it. Because if it was like a ghost voice, like a ghostly voice.
What if they're just standing near you? Oh, are you talking about like when I was recording by myself?
Yeah, when you were by yourself, there's other voices on that recording. And I think it's some mimicry, but like because it sounds like one of us, I'm like, I don't want to like. I'm gonna figure it out, but like, it's bizarre.
Yeah, that whole trip was bizarre. Like the first time we got up there, it was so fucking like cold, and all your electronics shut down, like every single electronic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my favorite part of that was when Kirby discovered a satanic cult in where were we? It was
just a smiley face.
Oh, well, it was Harper's Ferry, West Virginia. That's right. Yeah. Kirby discovered evidence of satanic worship outside the church in the snow.
All right, so we'll go into all that another time. Let's continue on with the story.
I know. Some yellow snow.
It looks like Alex is falling asleep over there.
I know. This will wake him up. So, along with ghost hunting, you can go to this place and hunt some buried ass treasure too. One legend states that in the 1600s, a band of pirates buried a sizable treasure in the middle of the woods along White's Creek. White's Creek?
Coincidence? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. The pirates then did what pirates do and went out to secure more loot. Unfortunately, their ship was capsized during a raging storm out at sea, and the crew died before they could return for their hidden treasure. Unwilling to give up their gold hoard, ghost pirates are now said to return to the woods and patrol the creek bed searching for the treasure. Digging for eternity.
Yeah.
You know, I still not understand. Okay, this is another tangent, but I won't go off too far. Why bury the treasure?
But so nobody can get it.
Yeah, you're not just gonna leave a leprechaun-sized fucking treasure out.
Yeah, but you're a pirate. Spend it on hookers and booze. Like, but it's doing nobody any good. It's not an interest-bearing account.
It's,
it's not like you're making money off of the money.
For whatever reason, I'm picturing those creepy ass like dwarves or whatever the fuck they are from Harry Potter. Like you bury the treasure and they come waddling up and fucking throw in a few extra coins every quarter.
God damn it! We weren't going to even talk about the Jews, and you had to bring up the goblins from Harry Potter. God damn it!
Nazism.
She didn't mean it to be anti-Semitic, but it was.
Well, that's like who is it? The Ferengi from Star Trek. I love Star Trek, but it is undeniable how anti-Semitic the Ferengi are.
But the guys who played all the Ferengi were Jews too. So.
Oh man, you can't give them big noses, Ron. You gotta give them big ears.
Yeah. At least Deep Space Nine made them.
Yeah, that is true.
That's why Deep Space Nine is the best.
Oh,
because
You're a man after my own heart, buddy.
Sisko was the best captain.
I've had so many arguments with people.
Easily the best
about
captain.
Deep Space Nine is easily the best show, and everyone's like, it's got to be the Next Generation. I'm like,
No,
the Next Generation
no.
always solves every problem to
Yeah.
a T.
Well,
But Deep Space Nine is the first one to be like,
Yeah.
oh no, like there are gray moral areas.
that's exactly the thing. So Gene Roddenberry, in the original series, said that every episode was its own contained story and ended with a utopian version of the future. And in the first series, there were no episodes that carried over. In the Next Generation, they had two-parters. In Deep Space Nine, the last 4 seasons are a continual story arc.
But we can, if you want to start a Star Trek podcast,
we'll do it, man.
Get into that.
Sisko was the best because he was militantly black. I loved that about him.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Oh, by the way, the Stone Gauntlet did its first gaming stream this past week. That's the Fortniting, guys. And we had thought about we should do like a Halo match, the Stone Gauntlet versus the fucking my brain is hanging upside down.
Yeah. As long as we don't play Fortnite, because I fucking hate Fortnite.
Yeah.
No.
Although
we'd be
I know I'm not included into the games because I'm only a temporary guest, but
uninvited.
Hey, look, we could probably let you in, but you'd have to name yourself temporary guests. Like put in like Halo, how you put like the fucking 4 letters that like represent you. You just put temp there.
temp.
We'll do maybe a Star Trek miniseries podcast because yes. Anyways, my friend also my friend Jacob thinks Deep Space Nine was the best too, and he has a degree in English.
Nice.
Oh dear God,
I have a degree in English.
England's involved in this, but Star Trek is not. You're killing me, Smalls.
Sorry.
Okay. All right, back to the ghosts. Another legend speaks of a group of ghostly red coats who can be seen carrying lanterns and digging in parts of the forest. Those dastardly red coats. The legend goes that General Charles Cornwallis, the hated General Charles Cornwallis, had soldiers hide a hoard of gold and silver in the woods after the Battle of Yorktown. They hid the treasure and buried cannons in a cemetery near Willow Creek. The Patriots were advancing, so hiding the gold was their only option. That makes sense. Most unfortunate for them, they were captured and killed before they could retrieve it. The spectral redcoats digging in the forest are the lost souls attempting to retrieve the general's stash of gold.
Yeah, so on one side
hated
you got,
Cornwallis.
From one side you got like fucking ghost pirates that will slit your throat anyways, and on the other side you got the English who are pissed at us because we threw their tea in the fucking harbor, and so you're kind of screwed either way.
I mean, I don't want to like misquote this, but I believe Cornwallis was kind of a bastard.
Yeah, it was kind of a bastard.
Yeah. The hated General Cornwallis. Finally, the last legend involves a treasure ship belonging to King Charles II, sent from England in 1652. The story states that King Charles had sent this treasure over as a safeguard after the Battle of Worcester. However, while the ship was heading for Jamestown, a storm blew it off course into White's Creek. Of course. The lost ship was beset by bandits who slew everyone, robbed the treasure, and absconded it into the woods, burying the treasure in the forest. According to...
I'm beginning to see a pattern here. It's like white assholes send their fucking treasure to get buried in Old House Woods, and fucking pirates kill them and take it.
Yeah.
You guys don't bury your money in your backyard?
I put it underground, but that's with...
You trust the banks run by the Jews?
Yeah, I was just gonna say my money is in gold, but it's 8 miles beneath the Earth's crust with the 8 Jew bankers who run the world because I'm a member of the club.
Yeah, but you still got a little bit around your neck, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Max, is there like a family friends discount? Is there any way you could hook me up with?
Yeah, we have structured it as a pyramid of sorts. You can't get to the top, but you can come in.
It's
Also-
very sound structurally. It's got a large base.
It's actually a little bit like the USAA. Like if you're a family of someone who served, you can get in. It's like that.
Right.
You can't get into the meetings though. Sorry.
Damn.
That's bullshit.
Well, you got to have horns. You got to be a Jew like me.
What if I got big horns?
We know. According to which version of the story being told, they were either executed for their crimes or the ship sank at sea before they could retrieve the treasure, which started a ghost war.
A fucking
The
ghost war. So
It's the best kind of war.
Not only do you have pirates and redcoats, you also got pirates and redcoats fighting each other.
I was about to say, so that is what that means. That means we have ghost pirates and ghost British men fucking duking it out over a treasure that may or may not be there.
You're
Yes.
you think I'm joking.
You're right on.
Here's the thing. The ghost pirates are trying to recover the treasure, and the ghost redcoats are trying to fend off them from the treasure, and they're in the middle of what is quite literally a ghost war.
Dude, this is a video game. How has this not been made into a video game?
These last 2 bullet points make it a video game. So it said the crew of the ship tries to protect the buried loot, while the ghost bandits try to dig it up. Apparently, they can be seen carrying lanterns that glow a green, ghostly, ghastly green.
Yeah, how is this not like a Slender Man game? You have to like,
Exactly.
get out of the woods alive.
Or before he turns you into one of his proxies and pulls out his big, thick old dick and makes you suck it.
Yeah. Anyway.
What, that isn't the Slender Man stories you guys have read?
Well, I just watched the videos.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think maybe I'm reading the wrong creepypasta. If you're feeling greedy, people have been searching for these treasures for years. They usually return empty-handed. Those are the lucky ones.
Dun,
there
dun,
are-
dun.
Oh, this is the best part. There are reports of people vanishing in the woods. It says that those who go to get too close to the treasure never return. One man in particular tried to do just that, and his boat was found floating down White's Creek, empty except for a couple of gold coins.
So he found the treasure. And by the way, this is how I want to die. Okay? Look.
Oh, is this it?
One
This
of
is it.
three
This is
things
it.
is going to happen here. Okay? One, I'm going to find the treasure and become fucking loaded. 2, I'm going to end up on trying to outrun ghosts, and maybe, just maybe, I'll make it out alive, out of the woods with the treasure. Or 3, I die. And now you guys are thinking, man, that must suck. You know, but no, it doesn't, because then I'm going to pop right up and I'll probably have a ghost pirate hat. And I'm like, how do I join up? What do I start thinking? Who do I fight? Let's do this.
This was an episode of Venture Brothers, I swear to God.
Because if I die, I get to live a ghost pirate afterlife, man. And I'm wondering if there's like negotiations. Can I get on Blackbeard's ship? What's the hierarchy of the ghost fucking pirate? You know, like how far can I go as a ghost pirate? And I'm not gonna lie, Max. If I see you in the woods, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Oh, that's brutal.
Ghosts are very rarely deadly.
That's
So-
my job. I'm a
I
ghost
love
pirate.
it.
Thank
Oh,
God
yeah.
I'm a special guest.
Okay, so there's a flying ass ghost ship. In the 19th century, a fisherman named Ben Farabee, name, came out from White's Creek with an incredible tale. He claimed that 7 gigantic 3-masted ghost galleons set out out
I've
on the
seen
bay.
Just one.
Sorry.
Just
one.
I've
Oh, I'm
seen
sorry. My bad. Yeah, he's seen a gigantic. My bad. A gigantic 3-masted ghost galleon. It had lit lanterns all along the deck and spirited, shadowy crew looking off into the distance. He tried to shout at it to get its attention as the ship was heading directly for him, but it was to no avail. Right when it was about to collide with good old the good Ben, the ship turned hard to port, lifted up out of the water, and sailed over the sands, riding nothing but the air.
Dope.
I know, it's awesome.
It's
A sound
sick.
of a harp. Yeah.
That's where I want to live. I want to be on that ghost pirate ship. That sounds cool.
Seriously, this is my favorite one out of all of them.
This is pretty bitchin'. I like it. A sound of a harp rang through the air, said to be beautiful music, and Farabee watched in abject horror as the ship sailed over the trees, stopped, and started dropping rope ladders over the side. The spectral men aboard the ship climbed down the ladders with tools and contraptions, only to disappear into the woods below. Numerous people have reported seeing the ship out in the bay over the creek. It's said that a mysterious gray fog typically accompanies the arrival of the ship. Sometimes the ship is said to float 50 feet above the waves. Most times the ship appears deathly quiet.
So we all know what the tools and contraptions were, right?
Dildos.
Butt plugs and dildos.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a story about a kid that saw this too. He was like,
All the butt plugs and dildos?
Yeah, this is inappropriate.
First introduction. No, it was not. He's sitting outside like his parents' friend's house, and they had just gone inside. And on the bay, a fucking gigantic ship just appeared to him and sat there.
This is like recent or sort of recent?
This happened like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I consider that recent.
Yeah, it's recent.
So he was just like watching it and being like, huh. And then like as soon as his parents came back, the fucking thing disappeared. As if it only appeared to him. Which
those assholes.
could be true.
It's probably
because...
a likely story. I bet he was tripping his balls out and then his fucking parents came home. He's like, I gotta come up with a story of why I'm so weird and strange right now. There was a ghost ship out there, Ma.
Yeah, after I took like half a sheet of acid, I saw a ghost ship.
I was eating angel trumpets. It was crazy. I love that story. Okay. I have theories here, but I hate that every ghost story has to have like similar aspects to it. And my theory is twofold. One, it's shit. Or two, it lends credence to the idea that all phenomena that is viewed is filtered through the perception of our, brain pans.
Well, I think what it is that like when spirits reveal themselves to us, it's on a personal level. So like,
exactly, yeah.
That's why we can't get it on like TikTok or we can't get it on YouTube and shit. Is like because when they do appear, it's meant for us alone, not for the entirety of YouTube. And and the other half of that is a lot of it does come from the same place. That my firm belief is that aliens, fucking ghosts, all that shit are fourth dimensional beings or beings from the astral plane crossing over for a brief bit. And
all right, nerd.
I actually don't even. I go so far as to not even know if it's beings. It's just a phenomena where the walls dimensions are thin, right? And
basically, like the best way to describe like the fourth dimension to us would be like go look at 4D Minecraft. He points it out like from the second to the third dimension. Where he's like, hey, this is the 3-dimensional map, and this is where he is on there. But all he sees is the line directly in his way. So if we move the map just a bit, it opens up passage in a 2D plane for him. And it makes me think that what we see, the stuff that crosses over for that tiny little bits, is just the fourth dimension shifting.
Yeah, and because it's so, like, bizarre, and our brains interpret it a certain way, and our brains, if our brains are prone to seeing or thinking about ghost ships appearing in fog, then that's what it's going to look like.
I mean, now we're actually going into the astral plane of things, and that's where we have control over reality. We just don't have the idea that we do. Like, for instance,
Exactly.
a lot of people out there hold themselves back because they don't think they have control to manipulate the reality around them, when in fact they actually do. There is
Yeah.
something to be said about positive thinking.
My
I
God, what are we, 3 French philosophers? Jesus
well, I
Christ.
mean, Kirby
Oh,
and I have put a lot of thought into this. I know we have, and a lot of like wasted time on the internet.
a lot of wasted time, guys. I don't have a lot.
Yeah, I know. This is a theory, but
Oh, if you just imagine what you are thinking, you will be a free man.
Basically,
Okay.
Sorry.
I think
sorry,
Plato had it
sorry.
right. I mean, with the fucking shadows on the wall, and like the
Yeah.
people that are just chained to it watching the wall because they don't have the necessary brain cells to turn around and see it's just a cave.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, okay. So this is the fourth dimension stuff. This is how and perception. So I was on acid once, and this. It's not really a blow your mind thing, but it was because I was on acid. And my friend says to me, "Dude, what if the color you see as green, I see as purple?" And I was like, huh. And I sat there for about 2 hours just thinking about that. But it's a really dumbed down way of explaining that what me sees with me eyes is just what I perceive it to be and what my brain perceives it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's 100% correct.
Right?
You know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, Heisenberg's theory of uncertainty is like does a great job of showing just how much control we have over the
Yeah.
universe, you know?
Observance and perception, exactly. So again, every ghost story includes fog and green lanterns, but there could be a reason for that, and it could be cool shit or lame shit.
I'm gonna find out. The minute I die, I'm gonna zoom over here and be like, how do I get on the ghost pirate ship for 10 years? You know? Can I just work there for a bit?
Can I intern on your ghost pirate ship? All right. So okay, we've got some more fucking rude dudes.
You guys are
So
the
we got
Raphaels of the spirit.
we got some rude ass redcoats, dead ones. A man named Henry Forrest was duck hunting in the woods when he spotted black shapes on the water of White Creek, not ducks. He pulled his gun, preparing to fire at what he assumed were ducks. However, the black blobs shifted and morphed into the forms of several angry-looking redcoat soldiers, who then began to march towards Henry. Running back through the woods, he reached his boat, only to find another redcoat hanging out there. The ghost looked at him angrily, and Henry threatened to shoot him.
Oh, can I do this part? I really want to talk as the ghost.
You do it.
All right. To which the ghost replied, "You shoot, and the devil's curse to you and your traitor's breed." Okay, go on.
Okay. Henry tried to pull the trigger multiple times, but the gun refused to fire. After which he threw the gun at the ghost and booked it out of there.
Yeah, because that would fucking work.
I mean, other legends speak of running into garrisons of ghostly redcoats, though when they fire at you, the bullets just pass right through you.
They don't do any damage. So if you see these guys and they're just pointing their guns at you and blasting away, fucking ride it, man. Because at that point, at least you're seeing ghosts and you get to live.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever been shot by a ghost gun? Do you know it doesn't do anything?
I'll take it, whatever. Look, I'm calling you out, Old House Woods. If you can hear me, send your dumb little redcoats over to my room tonight and shoot me in my bed. It'll probably help me sleep better.
You're a dead man.
How weird would it be if we wake up tomorrow morning finding out Kirby was shot while in bed?
Well,
yeah, by like a lead ball.
One, okay, you'll know ghosts exist, and two, your ass is haunted because I'm coming for both of you.
Damn it!
Then I'm gonna go do my tenure on the fucking pirate ship.
Yeah, get that out of the way, and then you can go to ghost grad school. Okay, so then we have a stormy ass woman, a female apparition in a white night. Ooh, a woman in white with a white nightgown. She glows a pale blue or in an earthly green and flies over the woods, preceding a storm. Sometimes she is spotted just walking through the woods. She has light-colored hair, white, blonde, or light brown. Hair always seems to be whipping about, even on a calm night. Apparently, as sort of a warning, she just flits around, letting unearthly, deafening screams. If she is seen, consider that an omen of incoming doom and vacate the area. This has this has granted her the nickname the Storm Woman.
Can you
Or
imagine?
just Storm, played by Halle Berry.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine how fucking annoying that would be? She's just like, Storm! Storm! And you're like,
like-
dude, we got weather.com, you bitch.
Seriously, this is like the lamest banshee ever.
It's haunted
like-
that area. And it's like, I'm going to say it right here. Automation's put her out of a job.
Automation is put out of it. Robots took our jobs.
Robots took her job. Because now we can just read weather.com and know a storm is coming.
Elon Musk took her job.
Fuck you, Elon Musk. Took a ghost banshee woman's job.
I know. Oh God, she's working at Twitter now because he can't get any real people.
Oh, that got me good. Oh man, that
That's a
got
good
me
one.
good.
Okay, so now we have some phantom ass animals. Possibly the snarly owl, but I won't get. We'll get to there later. Okay.
All right, can we just? You guys have said that a lot for the past, like, I don't know, hour that we've been doing this.
Yeah.
What you're saying? Snarly owl? Like
Snarly
snarly-
yowl.
Yowl.
Yowl with a Y. Put a Y
Yeah.
in front of owl.
Yowl.
yowl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snarly yowl.
It's
Yeah.
a D-list cryptid or ghost dog that we investigated.
And it broke my
So why is
fucking
it not
ankle.
called the snarly howl?
I went after the goddamn
I don't
Mothman,
know.
the Sally House of Atchison, and all these other haunted places, and a fucking ghost dog broke my ankle.
I know. And you know what? We thought it would be an easy one after the Mothman because the Mothman was intense.
It was intense. Though we didn't sleep
but-
in the woods, guys.
So, yeah. The snarly owl the more I dug into it, the more I found that it's we thought it was a cryptid at first, but it's more of an omen,
Yeah.
and it's more related to like death because it haunts most of the places that it's been seen are Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, which is like is an old battlefield, and then South Mountain, Maryland, which is 2 old battlefields.
Well, I mean,
so
if you're going off the traditional hellhound lore, the
Yeah.
first time you see a hellhound, it's good luck. The second time you see a hellhound, it's bad luck, and you should have left the
Yeah.
first time. The third time you see a hellhound, it's
yeah, I mean there was a lot of cool stories about the ghost, the snarly owl. It's I'd say it's a local sort of like Virginia, West Virginia, Maryland legend. It's
Gotcha.
it's a DC metro area legend.
yeah. I could say that the snarly owl is probably a bad omen. I wouldn't say he's a hellhound. I think
Yeah.
You find out the snarly owl is just a fucking Mitch McConnell on all fours. Just like the fucking that jowl just moving, and that's what's making like the fucking sounds of a dog.
And that's
Snarly
why-
owl.
That's why if you get closer to it, it grows exponentially, and then
and it
you
does.
just go through it. Oh man. Okay, so we're gonna talk about some of the animals. Let's see. The woods are alive with the sound of dead animals.
Alright, go on.
How do we know they're dead? Ghostly black horses have been known to randomly attack people.
Probably that's how. Just
Yeah.
throwing that out there.
Okay, there we go. Ghostly black dogs stalk the woods. They chase trespassers, pouncing on them from the underbrush. They will straight up jump on into the back of trucks and leave deep scratch marks. Ooh, those might be dogs. Their deathly howls and barks. The deathly howls and barks they produce are apparently enough to scare even the bravest of men and women. Kirby.
And
Um,
people get old. Sorry,
You
sorry,
son
I
of a
wasn't woken
bitch.
up for this episode. I'll make sure
And,
to include
you know-
everybody next time.
And non-binaries. Come on, men,
The
women.
bravest of people.
Yeah, people, Kirby. Oh, you're canceled. You're in free speech jail.
Free speech jail.
Yeah. Ghostly crows sit on the canopy and cackle at people walking through the woods. If you somehow make it through the ghost dogs, crows, and horses, the woods will throw the scariest thing from the depths of hell at you: a headless ghost cow.
Yeah, that you got me. Ridiculous.
Why?
Ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. Dude, I was good. I was like reading this. I was like, yeah, ghost dogs, crows,
Yeah.
horses. It's all scary shit. A cow?
This must be
Like,
the Australia
Headless
of, like,
cow.
Cows are fucking docile, man. Like they're just like, oh,
Listen,
milk me. Oh, let me
I-
eat some grass.
I
It doesn't
honestly
need a
think,
head.
I honestly think this is the Australia of the spiritual realm. Because they threw like all the fucking like crazies into this one fucking area in America, and we're like, have fun.
That's funny. We've been watching Married at First Sight Australia, and compared to the American version, they get the fucking weirdest people, and that fucking accent is the worst.
I love it though.
The Australian accent?
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
I hate it.
I will fall for an English accent or an Australian accent.
I'll go for English and Scottish and possibly
Irish is-
Swedish.
and
Irish,
Irish.
yeah.
Yeah.
If we're doing kind of those Anglo-Saxon
Yeah.
type of Irish is definitely for me by far.
You
like
can't
I like-
understand the Scottish. Have
Dude,
you ever
I
thought of it?
hear. Oh man, an Irish actress. I'm just like, yep.
I know. Yeah, Gillian Anderson, not Gillian Anderson. Yeah, Scully. She's Irish.
Yeah, Gillian Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the Irish accent is sexy, but you
The
can't
best-
understand the Scots. I got drunk with the Scot once, and about fucking a quarter of the way into our conversation, I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He's
You
awesome.
sure he just wasn't? Are you sure he just wasn't wasted?
Oh no,
just
he was
fucking-
blasted too. But that makes it
Like,
harder to understand the Scottish
if you're-
people.
But if you're drunk, if two people are drunk, you can understand the drunk because it
Yeah.
puts you into that drunk, language. If you're gonna go, if I'm going, like accents, I'll go even more sort of like localized. The Northern Irish accent with the tink, the tink and the turd or whatever. But anyways, okay, so we're getting after the headless ghost cow, which I don't know if it would
how you're
scare
gonna
me.
top that.
I don't know. The only way you can top that is some skeleton ghost ass knights, which it
I
doesn't
mean,
seem
why not?
How did knights get there?
Yeah,
I don't
I don't-
understand.
it's the wrong period
Historically
of
speaking, I'm
time.
confused.
So you
Yeah.
got pirates, redcoats, knights for some fucking reason,
Yeah,
headless
everything-
ghost cows,
yeah.
hellhounds potentially, crows, and a fucking banshee. This is
And-
literally the Pee Wee's Playhouse of the astral realm.
The Pee Wee's Playhouse.
I don't want to go into what ghost is what character.
Except these ghosts aren't jerking off in a movie theater.
Hey,
so-
Hey,
you know what?
Don't know,
No.
You know what? If he wants to go jerk off in a movie theater, I'm not going to judge him just
It
because he's
wasn't a
ghost.
movie theater. It was
yeah,
a
it was a
porn
porno
theater.
Yeah, I know.
He was
I
doing
know.
what you're supposed to do.
Well, technically, you're not supposed to, which is
Oh.
why he was arrested.
Well, I guess
Apparently
we
you're
found that
supposed
out
to
through
just-
Pee Wee.
He was arrested because
Apparently,
he
you're
was
just supposed to just
recognized.
sit there and watch two people fuck without doing anything.
Hey, have you guys watched the Playboy documentary on A&E or Hulu? The 10-part
No,
one?
I want to.
Oh,
No,
man.
I haven't yet.
God, it just ruins everything about Playboy and the mansion and stuff. And I mean, we knew Cosby was a big fan of the mansion, but that's so. I knew that Linda Lovelace, the star of Deep Throat, had done a scene where she blows a German Shepherd. I did not know that was shot at the Playboy Mansion.
So, are you telling me that you were surprised when you watched a 10-part series about how the Playboy Mansion was exploiting women, doing fucked up things? Like that surprised you?
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know.
that was the
Harvey
rest of it-
Weinstein is a bad man?
Yeah. Well, none of it really surprised me. I was like, yeah, Hugh Hefner, old creepy man. But yeah, the dog scene of Linda Lovelace was shot at the Playboy Mansion, which is like a legendary sort of porn thing because she was in like the most popular porno ever, and then her pimp husband got her to do all kinds of weird shit, including blowing a German Shepherd. Which
that's called feeding her a lot of drugs and being like, it's fine, just do it.
That's just Hollywood.
If you want to just feel really sick and like just want to feel bad about the world, watch that documentary.
Nope. Oh, the documentary. I thought you meant the video of her blowing a German Shepherd.
I haven't seen it. I just know it exists.
Max is like, I'll mail you a VHS copy. Don't worry. I got connections. We'll get this happening.
God. Think about people who used to watch porn on VHS. Ugh. Ugh.
You got to touch it with your hand afterwards.
Yeah.
My God.
Gross. God, think about the indignity of like blowing a nut and then having to press eject and like pull the tape out
and return it.
Yeah.
Like, please rewind, then return this video. Thank you.
God.
Wash your hands before and after.
You're already feeling all like guilty because of what you watched, and then you got to grab the tape out.
I mean, technically, I fell asleep at a jerking off booth in New York, so I don't know, because I was literally like, oh man, I gotta get my rocks off, and I'm not gonna get out of here for a long time.
Oh my God.
So I go into like this booth, and suddenly I wake up, and the guy's like screaming at me because I'd been in there for like 30 fucking minutes, and I'm like, hold your horses.
He probably thought you overdosed on heroin.
Yeah, seriously. He was probably. Did you wake up like with him like splashing water on your face? Like,
I've been close too. It's just like, oh, yeah, I guess this isn't the place to do that.
Yeah, it's the place to jerk off, not sleep, Kirby. Get it together.
It's cheaper than any hotel, though. It is cheaper than any hotel.
Speaking of someone who has spent some time in what's called a single room occupancy hotel, an SRO, the jerk off booth is probably nicer.
It wasn't bad. I mean, I fell asleep, so.
That's fucking fantastic.
And that's how Kirby got his first job as a jizz mopper.
Woo!
Dude, oh.
You gotta start somewhere. All right.
Oh, what an awful job. I never thought about it, but somebody does have to clean those, don't they?
I was like,
Jesus
hey,
Christ.
Can I occasionally sleep in the booths?
That's like, it's the lowest rung of the janitorial arts. Okay, let's get into some ghost nights. In 1926, a man named Jesse Hudgens reported that a group of strangers approached him carrying lanterns emitting an unearthly glow. As they got closer, he realized that they were wearing some type of ancient armor and carrying weathered-looking weapons. Finally, it dawned on him that they didn't have any skin, but were all bones. When one whipped out his sword and waved it menacingly, that was the final straw. Hudgens took off. In another incident, a man's car broke down on the road running through the woods. While trying to fix it, a figure approached him wearing ancient armor with only bones underneath. The figure asked him, "Is this the King's Highway? I've lost my ship." Which scared the shit out of the dude, so he ran off, leaving his car behind.
Look, I'm just saying, if a man whipped out his sword in front of me, I'd probably fucking take off too.
These are fucking skeletons. This is insane. Like,
I picture them whipping out their swords and the sword's just dropping because they're skeletons and they have no muscle mass to hold the sword.
I picture out another man whipping out his sword and me whipping out my sword and us touching swords.
That's how you sword fight in Old House Woods.
Yeah.
That's also how you sword fight in a jerk-off booth in New York.
Oh, man. I mean, $20 is $20, guys. That's
I know, it's true. Look, I've nodded off in some weird places. Never a jerk-off booth, but, like, you know. I've nodded off in New York, like on a park bench.
Nice.
That was the day I met Keanu Reeves in Union Square.
Did you fall asleep on Keanu Reeves?
No. I was copping some dope, and I met him before I copped, but we had a nice conversation for about 20 minutes. He's a good guy.
Wait, was
Because
Keanu Reeves actually there, or did you just
No,
shoot up the dope?
No, I hadn't shut up. I hadn't done any dope yet.
Okay. I'm just-
Yeah, I'm really
No,
jealous that you met Keanu Reeves.
Well, it was the second time. So the reason we talked for 20 minutes is because I met
Are you
him
saying
at.
it's the second time
Yeah.
you met Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
It's like, I saw him at Starbucks the other day.
No, because I worked at when I was working at Warner Brothers Records. He came in with his band Dog Star. I don't know if they never got signed or anything, but like I always say this, that the artists that did well were the artists that introduced themselves to everybody in the building, like including the marketing department, the secretaries, like everybody.
Yeah.
And he was one of those guys, and he had come into the new media department. We had this cool area, and he was talking to a group of us about the internet and shit. And then he asked me some specific questions because somebody was like, "Oh, Max is the hacker," and I was like 19 at the time, so I thought I was like hot shit. And we talked for 15, 20 minutes then, and then fast forward like 2 years, I'm a dope fiend, and I'm in New York visiting my ex-girlfriend, and I'm in Union Square, and like
Crazy.
he's sitting on a bench, and I'm like, "Hey, I met you." I was like, I was nice about it. I was like, "Hey, I don't want to like bother you, but like, do you remember a few years ago you were at Warner Brothers Records, the ski lodge in Burbank?" And he's like, "Yeah, I remember you were Max, right?" He remembered my name. And yeah, we just shot the shit
Go
for
Keanu Reeves.
He's a good guy. He's a really
Yeah,
good guy.
I
He
love
also
Keanu
he offered me he was smoking a J, and he offered me a puff, and I was like I
I
don't
do
smoke
drugs, man.
I didn't like
do drugs.
I didn't like weed, but as I was walking away with my bag of dope, I was like, man, it was ironic that I just turned down a hit of pot from Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I don't want this once in a lifetime chance. That's okay. You can keep
Yeah.
your fucking J.
Because it would have impeded my my skills at copying dope.
I guess you gotta have priorities.
It was a pretty high priority at that time. All right, so back to ghosts.
Back to ghosts.
Honestly, all the stories about Keanu Reeves, totally true. He's a great guy. He even asked me how I was doing because I was very obviously sick from drugs.
Oh, it's sad.
Right? It is kind of sad. I would love to meet him now and just be like, "Look at me."
Look how much weight I put on.
Yeah, exactly.
I eat again.
I know. Look, I'm not nodding off while you talk to me. Okay, so let's talk about what's really going on in these fucking woods.
We're getting down, man. Sometimes
okay.
some crimes go slipping through the cracks.
I
We got this.
don't like to debunk. I prefer to bunk, but we'll see.
We're actually
Lo-
not going to debunk Old House Woods.
Good. Okay, we're gonna bunk it. Locals who have lived and grown up around the woods say this is all hogwash. However, paranormal investigators have discovered cryptic EVPs, spooky photos and videos, as well as encountered weird things. It's important to note that the Old House Woods is privately owned nowadays, and only the road is really accessible.
Listen,
God damn it.
little
So who knows?
kids- Little kids are allowed to believe in magic. My magic is that somewhere out there's a deadly ghost pirate
So-
ship that I want to
Okay,
join.
so I was planning on hunting these woods, but it's really dangerous to ghost hunt and trespass at the same time.
Yeah, you're gonna have to ask the guy. You mind if I ghost hunt for buried treasure on your property?
Damn it. Well, anyways,
I guess we'll just cross that bridge when we get to it.
I know it's just. I mean, remember when we were in Point Pleasant and like we drove around the TNT fields for like 3 hours trying to find the like one string of igloos that was on public property.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, when Ansley and I went back to Point Pleasant, we went to the igloos during the day. Somebody was on their land doing some target practice, like very close, and like I was like, I had my gun on me for a reason.
You know
when
what I think
Kirby
it
and I were
was?
there.
The fucking beavers. Probably target practicing to take over humanity in that area.
Yeah, well, you know, I was packing that day too when Ansley and I went out there, because I knew those beavers were out, and I saw evidence of it. They dammed up the path.
Hey
that
man,
Kirby-
nature's engineers.
No,
look-
nature's assholes.
My
That's what they are.
mentality, my mentality has always been, it gotta 100% always be on the beaver hunt. Okay, that's what I've always thought, and that's how I live my life. You never know when those fuckers are gonna appear.
I just got this picture of you. Remember all those pornos that you got? Remember this box of porns? Like, just full-
70s porn.
Yeah, just full of like Penthouse beaver hunt, because Penthouse had a section called the beaver hunt, which is where like I think amateur porn was kind of born.
Well, I
Like-
subscribed to that as a fucking kid because I was like, oh look, a beaver hunt. These guys are like-minded. And then I forgot to cancel my subscription for like
Like-minded.
7 years or so.
Yeah, it was guys that took Polaroids of their naked wives and sent it into Penthouse.
Yeah, they weren't hunting beavers like I thought they were, but you know what?
No,
It was always interesting.
I was on a true beaver hunt. If I saw a fucking beaver while we were out in Point Pleasant, I was gonna finish the job that I started 2 years ago.
Those motherfuckers.
Get arrested by the fucking police department.
Nobody would have known. I swear to God, whoever was shooting was shooting like a 50 cal because it was deep and loud.
Next month, dead body of beaver found in the lake. Who committed this crime?
Mutilated body of beaver found in the bog. I'm a beaver serial killer.
Okay. Anyway.
Anyways,
I think that's the end of the podcast, right?
well, I don't know. I just wanted to. Okay, everything lines up. I don't get the night thing. I just don't. How?
This place has headless fucking ghost cows. I stopped questioning past that point.
But the
What
headless
do you
ghost
mean?
cow
No,
makes
no,
sense.
no. Yeah, the cows make sense, bro.
Yeah,
How do the cows make sense? Yeah, okay. So,
because somebody had a cow on land. Of course they did.
yeah, but
Nobody. There were no
fucking cow
fucking
wants-
knights in shining armor.
What fucking cow wants to haunt fucking Old House Woods?
What
It's a-
nights were in America?
Yeah,
That's what I'm
and also
saying.
it's a domesticated cow. It got its head chopped off. It doesn't know it's dead.
Well,
So
that's
what,
a,
the
now
plains of
that's a
America?
scary thought.
Are just haunted by ghost cows?
A
Yeah, it
fucking
happened.
bovine that doesn't know it's dead.
You know, all right. Let me possess this theory, right? And this is based
Yeah.
purely off the idea of ghost cows, right? So you see ghost cows in Old House Woods for some fucking reason, but you don't see
Uh-huh.
ghost cows in the plains of like fucking Kansas, right? On top
Yeah.
of that, you
Well,
see
no, because those would be ghost buffaloes.
on top of that,
Yeah,
you see
bison. Sorry, bison.
you see a whole bunch of weird shit.
Oh, that
located-
was cute, bud.
Oh, you like that?
I saw the little heart go out.
That's all right.
No.
So on top of that, you got a whole bunch of weird shit centralized in this one area, including ghost pirates, ghost knights, you know, all that shit. Who's to say it's just not a rift to the other side?
Yeah.
The
I mean,
woods or the cows?
The fucking cow? No, the woods. The cows are there because ghost cows
Okay.
don't typically come back over from this side.
Alright.
I mean,
It-
why the fuck would they?
it tracks with our theory, Kirby. It does. You're right. And actually, 1926. What was a popular? What was it? A Yankee in the Court of King Arthur. You know that book?
Oh, yeah, Mark Twain.
Yeah, I think that was pretty popular around that time. So maybe it's the perception. He just saw a skeleton ghost and was like, "Must be a knight," and his brain turned it into a knight.
Wait, Actually, no. Oh, hold on. Okay, we're talking like 1500s, and we're talking like Cortez and shit. They dressed as knights.
Yeah, but they weren't anywhere. Or were they?
Spaniards were up in the Chesapeake Bay during the 1500s.
Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's true.
So it's very easily that they're like fucking ship crashed on the
so,
Chesapeake Bay, which is known for crashing ships.
Yeah, it is. We're talking like a ghost Don Quixote.
Yeah, like a ghost
Okay.
or a ghost like Cortez, you know, just being like, how do I get back to my ship? You know, this is fucking Spain.
Yeah, they didn't say anything about what language the ghosts are speaking. They could have been speaking Spanish.
And once you cross over, who's to say you're not instantly translated? Because you're speaking on a different form. We're gonna talk about that in our fucking season 3 coming up when we get very fucking esoteric. But
Okay.
there's rumors that when we sleep, we enter this astral plane that is a much higher consciousness than us. You know?
Well, I mean, so I watch a lot of Ghost Adventures. Everyone knows that. It's like my favorite show. The Ghost Bros. The Ghost Bros have addressed this issue because if you're screaming at a Native American ghost in English, they're not gonna fucking know what the fuck you're saying. And the theory is yes that they are in another plane and it just kind of comes translated.
There's that. And then there's also the fact that, they're Spaniards. That doesn't mean they don't know English. Like, maybe they're like, hey, look at this fucking white asshole with this Tulsa over here.
It wasn't post World War One and World War Two. We hadn't gotten the market on the language yet.
Yeah, he's right. He's right.
Yeah, but they still had to deal with the English. They were still fucking trading with them. So there's a good chance that they probably knew some of their language. And if you come up to like the fucking some rich dickhead with the Tesla and they're just like, this guy's got money. How do I get back to my fucking ship, bro? And this guy's like, I'm out. You're
saying that the guy who left his car there was driving a Tesla?
Probably. Like, I can just imagine him breaking down in the middle
That
of fucking
snob bastard.
old house woods.
Oh, no. He all that money on his fucking car. He was just too embarrassed to say, I left it in the woods.
The ghost is just like, here, let me charge that up for you. Now, can you point me back to my fucking ghost ship?
No, ghosts are just energy. That makes sense. It tracks, Kirby. All right. That's all I got on the Ghost Woods.
Did I just lawyer the supernatural side?
You did. You lawyered me.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I defended the supernatural here.
You did. And you did a good job.
Yeah. In the name of the courts of Crooked Irish, Crooked Murder.
Crooked Murder.
We find the defendant guilty.
I love that. We should have occasional point and counterpoints.
Oh God. Okay.
Only if you allow me to buy a gavel.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. A big one, like a really big one.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna gavel in bed though.
So let's do our shout outs. Guys, I want to do a couple shout outs. First of all, John Zara. He allowed us to use his Old Lang Syne and Celtic finger style this week. That guy rocks. Go find him.
Thanks, buddy.
I know we're a little bit late, but I apologize to John Zara, and I was just like, hey, I really love this song, and it's our closing song, and people dig it. And he was like, yeah, go ahead and use it so long as we give him shout outs. And you know what? I have no problem shouting out the band. Like fucking.
I think that's great, man. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean Conan O'Brien does it at the end of each night,
Yeah, absolutely.
He's like, thank you for our band over here. Well, thank you to John Zara. His Facebook or his YouTube is John John, and it's Zarra. The guy is fucking dope. Go check it out.
Yeah, that version of All Lang Syne is pretty fucking good. So I'm really happy that he let us use it.
I also want to thank my crew. It's always a pleasure to work with special temporary guest Alex over here, and my co-host Murder.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here, buddy.
We also have shout outs for all our moderators on the stream today. Thank you, Siebes and Coreycraft, for watching over the stream. Guys, go follow them. I'll throw the shout out up here, but that is CEEBBZ and KORICRAFT. They can be found on Twitch.
All right. We got some followers and subscribers too, right?
We did actually. We got one new subscriber. That is Tiny Tim. T1NY_Tim. TIM.
Tiny Tim. What's up, Tiny Tim?
So go follow him back on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Let me do these quick shout outs on the stream itself. Max, do you want to shout out our Twitch, YouTube, and podcasts?
Yeah. Hey, we got okay. As everyone who's watching this knows, we're live on Twitch once a week. Whenever we say we are, it's not really scheduled, but you can also catch our uncut videos of this on YouTube. The channel is Crook Irish Studios, and our podcasts. We've got Crook and Murder Presents. We've got the Stone Gauntlet. And my brain is hanging upside down. My brain is hanging upside down. We've got a new episode dropping pretty soon, first or 2nd of February.
It's pretty much a week from today. I mean, not like a week, but basically next week is going to be the next run of our, or the last episode in our Crook and Murder mini series that we're running right now with the fucking, what's that? Old House Woods and Wendigos before we bring you Roanoke Part 2. But before we bring that, we're going to have a quick break, and in that you're going to get the Stone Gauntlet, where we got some fun stuff to talk about. A few hints. We're going to be talking about the Dead Space remake, and we're going to fucking tear apart Velma.
Yeah, and we might also play with this.
We'll give a quick review on the Steam Deck. You can find all that stuff, Crook Irish Studios on YouTube, Crook Irish on Twitch, and our episodes are now available in all podcast formats in case you want to listen on Spotify or whatnot. We will always be 4 episodes ahead for the time being on YouTube. So if you miss it, just go check us out over there.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube. It's uncut, uncensored, and stinky.
We also got special guest Alex down here running the Discord channel. If you want to join, there's links all over the place. Just find the Discord, and you'll get updates generally when we plan to be on. That way we can let people know ahead of time. We try to strive for every Monday to Tuesday, but a lot of the times life gets in the way. We promise.
We busy motherfuckers.
We're busy motherfuckers. But we promise to bring you at least one a week, and we'll try to keep it updated when that happens.
Do you think researching the occult and watching Star Trek doesn't take hours of my fucking life?
That's pretty much all he does.
Yes, it is. I got a girlfriend too, but yeah.
I think that's everything. Oh,
that's everything.
Next episode, we got something big planned. It's our 10th episode celebration, and I think at that point, we can call ourselves podcasters. After
oh my god, can I quit my job?
Because that'll ruin it. That'll make it a job, and then I'll start hating it, and I'll start getting into fights with you guys, and then the groupies will get involved, and then we'll be fighting over the groupies.
Season 5.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right. So the next episode, we are going to be talking about Wendigos. That's cannibalism in the cold. And it'll be a lot of fun.
Wendigos are bizarre. I can't wait.
Dude, I researched Wendigos because I can never figure out what the fuck a Wendigo is. And so I'm just like, I need to go figure this out. And I can tell you, you will have your answer of what a Wendigo is if you've ever
really awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited. All right, well, let's sign off. I'm gonna go play some Grim Dawn.
I'm gonna go play some Dead Space because it just dropped today. So, guys, I'm Kenny Crook.
Isn't that a new game? Sorry to interrupt.
It's a new-ish game. It's a remake of an old game.
But no, I thought Dead Space was like a new game.
No, it's not.
You might be thinking of Calypso Protocol, or
which
whatever.
Apparently sucks dick. So just get that
okay.
space.
All right.
I'm Kenny
Okay.
Crook Irish Kirby. We'll see you next time, and keep it weird.
I'm Max Murder. That name is really true to form because I am out there murdering beavers every night.
And I'm special guest Alex, never masturbating underneath the sheets.
or in a New York booth.
Or in a New York booth.
Kirby, I have to say that I love that your story about a jerk-off booth in New York doesn't involve jerking off.
Jerking off, just falling
I didn't
asleep.
talk about it. There's got to look. We got to keep this thing NC-17.
No.
Right?
You know what? This is just before we go. Here's a fun little tidbit for you. To get a rated R, or an R rating from the MPAA, you can show full male nudity, but not an erect penis.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's where they cross the line.
that's the line that's crossed. Is if
Because
you're